It's a tail. Judd, it's your choice.
Friday night at the waterfront. It's lively in here. 2 matches to complete the semi-final lineup at the Northern Ireland Open, and this is a big heavyweight clash if ever there was one. Judd Trump against Shaun Murphy.
First frame. Judd Trump to break.
Judd Trump leads the head-to-head, 16 wins to 9. He's won the last 5, including a tight semi-final in Riyadh, the Saudi Arabia Masters, 6-5, and also, of course, this season a bit more comfortable, 11-5 in the final at the Shanghai Masters. Murphy may feel he owes him one, but we saw last night against Hawkins, and we've seen it really all year, how hard Judd Trump is to beat. This is his 15th tournament of 2024, and it's the 15th time he's reached at least the quarterfinals. Shaun Murphy, though, likes the big occasion, doesn't he? Likes being out there, centre stage. Just get the feeling this will be a really good match tonight. Of course, he had that narrow escape. Brilliant game yesterday with Stuart Bingham, 4-3 on the black. It's Murphy's 3rd quarter-final appearance at the Northern Ireland Open, 2019-2021. He got that far, never any further. Of course, Trump, he's aiming to win this title for a 5th time. So it's a venue he really enjoys.
Just a containing safety shot there. Not trying to get the cue ball back down the table too far. He actually tried to hit that around the right and cover it with the bolt colours, which he's not managed. Yeah, it's sure to be a good match, these two, isn't it? You'd think, not too fussy, anything but the way they've played to get through and the style of players they are.
Reminder that Louis Heathcote and Elliot Slessor are on table 2. That's live on Discovery Plus. The respective winners will play each other tomorrow night. It's Pang Junzhu, Karen Wilson in the afternoon tomorrow, when of course we'll be down to just one table, a setup that Trump is well used to. He won 5 tournaments last season. Already this season he's won 2. The Shanghai Masters, where he beat Murphy in the final, of course the Saudi Arabia Masters, where he made that fantastic clearance against Mark Williams.
Once again, difficult to play up the table here with the red on the left side. It doesn't leave that many options, really. Not positive safety shots, unless he thinks it's worth going for something to left middle, but that is really difficult. By nature, a very attacking player. Shaun Murphy, he's going for this. Tough shot. Wow, that's really very good. There wasn't a safety shot, though. I suppose that sometimes comes into it. Not a meaningful one. It's an excellent opening red.
It does sort of feel like he's due a win. I mean, we saw Neil Robertson and Mark Selby recently come back and win tournaments after a little period out. Shaun Murphy won the Championship League at the start of last season. The rest of the campaign wasn't so hot, but you know, has played some good stuff this season. Judd Trump, of course, beaten him a couple of times. He lost 2 other players who've gone on to win tournaments. Neil Robertson at the English. Xiao Guodong played outstandingly against him in Wuhan. But he's got to beat this man tonight to stand a chance, of course, of being in the mix for the Alex Higgins Trophy.
Well, he's going to look to see if the red by the black is in any way potable. I'm not sure. It does look a bit like the red is a bit crossed to the left and touching the black, or very close to it, so it might be an area, but there isn't much room to pot it, if there is at all.
Nice. Thanks, Shaun. 20.
Certainly have to give this breaker quite a lot of thought to see if he can make it into something.
$23. 24. 29.
I think he's looking at either whether the pink goes to the left corner, or that's probably the most likely thing that he is studying. There's a red just below it. I'm not sure there's any sort of a gap through to it. Yeah.
30.
Pink, and then if he's got a just off straight angle, he could go through the reds, but I think it's a bit wide, the angle on this. He's going to try it. Is he on it or not? He'd be unlucky if he's not, actually.
36.
Don't know if he can get to the potting angle. I don't think so. It's a more difficult red to middle here, where you can't cue the white very well over the bunch. It's a very good shot, isn't it? Very good. It didn't look easy, but it wasn't.
$43.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room there either, but there's a red to middle anyway, but there is a red that goes, it seems.
44.
It's a terrific opening red to make any of this possible.
Yeah, I mean, when Murphy turns it on, as we see the red again. Fantastic shot. And when he turns it on, he really is some handful to watch. He won the Players and Tour Championships, didn't he? Back end of the season before last. And the Players' Championship in particular was just absolutely brilliant.
47.
Your man here may be a star of the future,
48.
being inspired by these great players. Yeah, if Murphy can produce that level that he did to win those two tournaments, he can beat anybody.
He's done particularly well with this break, you know, because the red's been sort of glued to the black all the way through it.
54.
Now, is he not on this? He looks a little disgruntled, as if to say, well, I thought he would be on it. I'm sure he can get to that. Not saying there's a lot of room, but...
55.
Well, not only did he pot it, he got the cannon on the black, so things are looking okay. Played it with a trace of left-hand side, Ashley, to widen the potting angle.
As you can see then, he needs one more red.
62.
This is the way to beat Trump. Keep him in that seat. We saw Corin Wilson come out and played a great first frame against Mark Williams. It did set the pattern in this afternoon's match, but he's overcut that.
John Murphy. 62.
Yeah, it's a slight worry, isn't it? Because the red was awkwardly placed by the black all the way through. It no longer is.
Trump made a couple of terrific clearances last night, didn't he, against Hawkins, that made all the difference.
1.
Yeah, I mean, there were really good clearances, not necessarily in orthodox positions, the balls either. Often started with a very good opening red.
8.
Here, as you can see, his next red into a fairly acute potting angle into the middle. He's not straightforward. No, always going to be near draw that.
Judd Trump 8.
Well, the concern for Murphy is the balls are in almost too open a position going forward. He wants something safe. It's a bit of a concern, this. 54 in front doesn't mean a lot where the balls are. Second time lucky with that middle pocket. Just got to watch which colours he takes, because with the reds at the other end of the table, it's not so easy to get onto high value colours, and he will need quite a few of those. He's taking the pink here as well, so that takes a point off. And he'll certainly have a look at the scores and be attempting to finish on something higher value than a bulk colour. They can't afford to take any of those. 47 the difference. Yeah, he's got to be watchful of that. I think it's going to be very hard. But even if he's playing on the blue here,
8.
it's very hard to take high enough value colours with the 2 remaining reds. Can afford a pink, and the other one has to be a black from here, otherwise he's not going to be able to win the frame without a respot or even needing snookers. So this is not nice.
30.
Definitely not easy. Playing with topspin through bulk here, back down the other end.
14.
Really hit the balls with pace and accuracy, Trump.
$20.
So 34 in it. He'll not be going for this red, but a red and a black and all the colours can win in the frame.
Judd Trump. 20.
Yeah, not his best, that last shot. Yeah, left the shot to nothing, not in though. But the second part of the shot, cue ball back to ball. Already a exciting start to proceedings. Murphy made the early running with the 62, just trying to get over the line now.
Well, that might have just about won the frame for him if it's a snooker. I think he can get through.
Well, the red he's on, he needs, of course, a black off it. Yeah, shake of the head from Murphy. He was in control of this frame. Did have frame ball initially on that breaker 62, which he overcut to this pocket. Yeah, he's right to be concerned. This was the red that he overcut, as I mentioned, on 62.
Ten. $30.
Well, frames like this can really set a pattern. Shaun Murphy, it's only the first frame and he's looking down as if he's already disappointed, thinking that this is not the start he was looking for. He came out well, but 62 break is well and good, but if you don't win the frame from there, it kind of hurts more than if you didn't really compete in the frame.
22.
But he's making something of a career of this now. Judd Trump stealing frames.
$28.
It's definitely the one that got away for Murphy. He was looking to make a good start. He was well on the way to doing that. But yet again, Judd Trump has made the clearance. And over the course of a tournament, breaks like that make a big difference. 1-0. Table 1, Shaun Murphy made the running. Couldn't quite kill off frame 1. Judd Trump eventually cleared last red to black. Best of 9 to reach the semi-finals. The Home Nation Series, it's a 10-year series initially, so next year will be the last one. But whatever happens in the future, let's hope it continues, but if it doesn't, this event surely has got to carry on. It's such a highlight of the season coming here. Judd Trump enjoys it, doesn't he? He'd like to play every event here, I think, as he knocks that long red in.
$3.
Must be tight, this, as to whether he's on that red by the side of the pink. Yeah, again, he can get through to it all right. That's another part of his game that's so good. I mean, he's got the cue speed to really put spin on the ball, get the cue ball out of a fairly awkward position. Doesn't get stuck in the bunch when he hits it like that with that speed, spin. Saying yesterday, I don't really know who you can compare him to as a player. He's a bit unlucky there, is he? You know, he's very much his own player, brand of snooker. He can just get through. He kind of controlled aggression all the time. He pots a lot of very tough balls, sort of almost with monotonous regularity in the middle of breaks. You know, his cue ball is not as immaculate as other players, but he just keeps going. It's always been the same.
Yeah, he sort of sees all parts of the table during a break, doesn't he? But invariably they just go in. Well, that has not gone to plan. This is, I guess, the problem if the cue ball is travelling. You know, there's more likelihood something's going to go wrong if it's travelling a long distance. In and out of bulk on this occasion. Yes, I mean, the man who... The trophy's named after Alex Higgins. He had his own way of doing things, didn't he? And you know, he was unorthodox, but it worked for him.
He really was unorthodox. I played him a number of times, and he often would play a certain shot from A to B in a way that no other player on the tour would play it. You know, and his technique was different. Lots of moving parts, but of course he had that X factor and he had that sort of little bit of magic about him, didn't he? Which, you know, not every snooker player, as good as they are, have all got that.
Yeah, our friend and colleague Clive Everton, who passed away recently, he said every Alex Higgins match was an emotional occasion if you were in the arena. People were invested in him as much as the snooker he was playing. It's great that these legends are remembered with these trophies. Of course, Shaun Murphy, the only home nations title he won, the Welsh Open, that's the Ray Reardon trophy. Of course, Ray sadly passed away in the summer.
A chance to get the cue ball figure of 8 round the angles here and behind yellow, or probably brown if you place it that way. So it's a very popular sort of shot which often sends the cue ball into quite awkward places. Not got a snooker, but still applied some pressure. Murphy, I think you could see the disappointment that losing that first frame as Judd was about to win it. It's just the last thing he needed to lose a frame, having made a decent break at the start of it. Doesn't set a very good trend for the evening. They all count the same, but it doesn't feel like that when you're out there. He's so good at picking up the pieces these days. Give her a thin edge of one of these reds. That's a good shot, because he was over the top of the brown there with no easy cueing. So there's the error Murphy's looking for.
Shaun. Thank you.
Yeah, he's looking for a little nudge there. That's absolutely fine. It's a good rest shot, wasn't it? You know, he like really got hold of it. Cue ball absolutely flew back.
Three. Four.
Again, he's going to have to work fairly hard for this break, as in the first frame. There was a red by the side of the black for the most part, and he did ever so well to get as many as he did. So this is not a completely dissimilar sort of scenario. The ball's awkward.
Eleven. Seventeen. 18.
There's only really one way to put aside the disappointment of losing
20.
a narrow frame, and that's win the next one.
25.
Trump was in first here, of course. Of course, Murphy beat him, Judd Trump, this is on his Crucible debut, when he was only 17 back in 2007. He was very raw, certainly a talent then, but he really was a potter in those days.
Yeah, I seem to remember that match. He played his part in it, and everyone was speaking about Judd, but it was a little bit too much for him, I think, on debut.
More recently, Murphy beat him in the quarterfinals of the Crucible in 2021, so he's had some high-profile wins, just not of late. He's lost the last 5.
39. $45. 46.
So this is almost at the point
52.
where he will make the frame safe.
50.
Just needs this pink and another red to avoid a repeat of frame 1. Looks to be playing well, doesn't he? You know, tonight, I know he came unstuck in the first frame, but he looks pretty good. He played well against Bingham, let's be honest. He was 3-1 down, and Bingham was playing well.
59.
He nearly had a maximum break, was on for a maximum in the frame he'd won, but the comeback in that match tells me that he's very close to his best. He's hit that hard. A bit unlucky not to get all the way round for red, but even then he'd be more than happy with this.
66.
Yeah, we'll see whether Trump feels like coming back or not here. 55 behind, 43 on.
Shaun Murphy, 66. On the flag.
Deciding against it. Yeah, good response that after the way Murphy lost the first frame. 66 in the second, and we're all square at one each. Murphy level. Murphy could have been 2-0 up, but at least he responded well in frame 2 to having the first one stolen from him. Going to be some weekend. I mean, you look this afternoon, Pang Zhengzhu finished very well indeed against Neil Robertson. Corin Wilson, very impressive against Mark Williams. So one of those two is going to be in the final. There is the extra carrot of a champion of champions place as well, of course, for the winner, if you're not already in that. Judd Trump's qualified about 6 or 7 times for it, so he's fine. He'll be in Bolton in November. Shaun Murphy not yet in. He could get in off the ranking list if there aren't enough winners.
Foul. Miss. To Trump 4.
Well, this is a misjudgment. Not so much not getting the reds, but leaving this one on.
1.
Yeah, and for the first time the black is not tied up. In the first couple of frames it was awkwardly placed. That could be a big misjudgment, in fact. He's got the angle, I think, on the red to stun down towards the black here.
Keep hearing the best of sevens are a lottery, but the fact is Judd Trump is appearing in his 21st Home Nations quarter-final in 32 events he's played in over the years. So he's won all those best of sevens.
11.
At the end of the day, you've got to get over the line, and we've seen players take leads against some of the top players over the years and not convert. But it's not a problem he's got in any format. But it seems to be a master of getting through those short games.
Yeah, I think he tried to just glance off the red above the black there and push it away. I'm not so sure what'll happen now when it gets respotted, whether the red goes. He just tried to move the red forward, but he didn't really make contact with it. Here it is. It just moved, but not far enough across.
18. $90. 24.
Yeah, I mean, they are awkward little shots. I didn't think he'd miss it.
24.
Trying to take the cue around the back of the black, but you know, you have to be a little careful on those. You can't see the opening of the pocket, but you know, he put 9 of those out of 10.
There's clearly a lot of respect between these two, both well aware of the other's capabilities. Similar players in as much as they're very good from distance, very good at getting in, and obviously both heavy scorers as well, so each wary of the other. Yeah, Shaun Murphy will not be happy with that.
Yeah, I think he was more concerned about playing safe from the bunch of reds and opening them up. That probably had a better route back to Bolt playing off the bunch.
One. Three. Four.
Well, he was conscious of trying to get above the blue, but he's gone a fraction too far. He could have finished just short of where he is now. He'd have had a lovely shot from blue into the bunch. I'm not so sure he can get into them very easily, whatever he plays. He's straight on the green. Blue, I don't think there's much of an angle there. And the reds are packed together, so quite how he keeps this break going, I'm not sure. Usually he finds a way. Well, he's playing this yellow, taking it round the angles at pace. It'll be a difficult shot. No, didn't think he would.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
So a handy lead this, but
Judge on 4.
with plenty of reds in play. Soon the pink, I think, will be developed once he plays off the bunch here. Frame is still up for grabs. Well played, safety shot that one. Can't ask for any more than that shot. It's a very good safety shot. That really is, to hit that red as thin as that. And so much so that he avoided the main bulk of reds. Yeah, again, it's a well-directed shot, even though the red came out towards the pocket. I wonder, can this cut in? The two balls so close together, it's a little misleading at times. I think surely if he can aim away from the red, it might be able to be potted here. It's a strange position the balls are in. So close to that right corner. Yeah, it's not even more than about a quarter ball.
Whoa. Black ball. Eight.
These two are actually the two leading century break makers this season. Trump on 30 and Murphy on 26. They've each made 3 in this tournament.
9. Black ball.
Interestingly, though, on centuries, Murphy, yeah, 26. Last season, he made 32 the whole season. So, you know, we're still in October. To be on 26 just shows you he is playing well in this campaign. Killing frames off pretty ruthlessly.
17. $22.
Just got to work these now from here, because once he pots his reddies on, you know, the other reds are a little bit blocking each other off somewhat. They're not in a safe
23.
position, but not entirely sure which one had come next. Maybe the one directly above the black. If Shaun could get across either to the left or right, sort of a long line with, in line with it. Or else he might have to just nudge the reds.
$28.
Don't think he can pot that. Don't think there's enough of the red sticking out to make the potting angle. I think the middle has not worked out either, so a little deft little cannon, but it's not landed him on a red very easily, if at all. Frustratingly, he'll have to play up the table.
Shaun Murphy.
Now I suppose he wishes he'd gone into the reds with a bit more pace, but I think he did it like that for a reason. It is the kind of speed he played in. Didn't want to hit the first red. He hit the red he meant to, really, but somehow hasn't finished on the ball. pretty sure Judd came round to have a look at that. Actually, still reliving his previous visit to the table and how it ended. I think he played this. Didn't see an apology, and I'm sure he walked round to have a look at the angle.
Ground ball. Just trump.
Definitely advantage Trump, but it doesn't mean he's sure to win this frame.
You see this again, it's one of these, Murphy's had to will himself to get back out of that seat. He just looked furious, didn't he? But this is how Trump has changed as a player over the years. He's, you know, in situations like this, he's granite.
Foul, yes. Just trump.
Yes, he's ill at ease, isn't he? You can see that. I don't think that's a bad thing with Murphy, you know. He prides himself on his sportsmanship, and, you know, if he does lose a match, he'll always be very gracious. At the moment, he's far from having lost this match, but he's a little frustrated this frame.
What?
The way it's unfolding. Well, he probably is thinking, well, I can't allow Trump these chances. I should have made more from that previous scoring visit. He's turning into a player, Trump, who just steals frames from you.
Black ball.
That's a very precise positional shot that he's played.
8.
Murphy can just sit and watch.
9.
Those two reds were safe before that shot. They wouldn't pot anywhere.
$50. 60.
Well, it seems Murphy was right to be concerned. So, Judd Trump
23.
surely about to go 2-1 in front here. 32 in front, so just needing the red.
24.
Yes, it's not going to be a spectacular frame to win, but it's just one to notch up, isn't it, on the board? This,
31.
with that one opportunity that Murphy had, which he didn't score enough from.
Just trump.
Nowhere back from here.
31.
Shaun Murphy, a rather resigned nod of the head. He knew that was a frame he could have won. In fact, he could have won all three, couldn't he? But the fact is, it's Judd Trump who's leading 2-1. Friday night at the Waterfront Hall. 2-0 to Elliot Slessor against Louis Heathcote on table 2 in tonight's other quarter-final. Best of 11 semis tomorrow. The first one in the afternoon, 1 o'clock local time. Pang Zhengzhou, who knocked out Neil Robertson, against the world champion, Karen Wilson. Murphy's actually ahead on total points in this match, but of course he's lost 2 close frames.
Again, another example of a very strong safety shot with perhaps just the edge of the bunch available, or the red that's next to the black perhaps, which won't disturb anything. High levels of safety once again in this match between these two.
Yeah, there's that highest break, 35 for Trump, but of course it was that key clearance in frame one. And as I mentioned, as we see Murphy take on the red, he's ahead on the aggregate, but none of that matters. What matters is the frame score. He's not going to change his game, why should he? But he's going to have to start getting them. This red's on to middle.
One.
Yeah, that could be a moment in this match, just there with now Judd early in, with the opportunity to build a couple of frames lead, and without jumping the gun because then he just started the break. Should he do that, Murphy wouldn't be very happy because he's played a big part in the frames we've seen.
6.
But he's only won one of them.
7. 12. 13.
Might fancy the bunch of reds here from
20.
top side of the blue. The way the pink is, and it seems to be, pink is actually touching the front few reds in the bunch. I might think that it's a
20.
good opportunity to have a little dart at these and get them open. Can play on the loose red, but it kind of is delaying the inevitable, really. Doesn't often need a second opportunity, does he?
26.
Half decent split. The cue ball not bad on a red.
$27.
Jack Trump watching on from the stands. That's Judd's brother, as we know, keeping his distance, but of course he'll be with him at the interval. He'll be enjoying what he's seeing so far. As long as Trump can nail this frame now.
33.
Yes, I mean, he keeps his distance when his brother is playing, but also in the main, you know, he's not looking for the limelight, is he? He just does his job and looks after his brother's interests.
He's in it for the right reasons. He's trying to help his brother rather than promote himself.
39.
Yeah, it looks a natural, didn't it? Just a brush off that red. There he is. Probably happy with what he's seeing. I don't know what the... on the assumption that Judd wins this frame, and he hasn't done so yet. I don't know what the little mid-session chat would be. I don't think it would be too strong words, perhaps. Not if this frame goes his way. I think he has given him a dressing down on a few occasions. Judd's admitted that. He's turned matches round. It's a nice little cannon. The
46.
red directly above, as you saw, is the one that he moved. Now anything's possible in this break.
48.
He must have had some input into the scenario when he was 4-0 down in Saudi in his first match against Wu Yiza, because he turned it around, looked at a completely different player afterwards. Won the match, won the tournament.
It also helps to just have someone doing all the sort of
55.
functional stuff, like getting the hotel rooms, all that stuff that you don't want to spend your time doing. So all the intensity that Judd Trump has
56.
is on the table. And we're seeing the fruits of that again here. What a wonderful chance, not only to win the frame for a 3-1 lead, but to make a big break as well. And give Shaun Murphy plenty to think about in the interval. A couple of frames have gone away from
63.
Shaun Murphy. Certainly the opener, he looks like he was going to win. And then he could have been away, couldn't he?
$64.
As it is, this is frame ball for 3-1. We've seen all sides of Judd Trump again, haven't we? We've seen the match player who made the steely clearance, telling Snooker in the last frame, set up the chance, and this one, it's one visit. Shaun Murphy took on that tough red to left corner, didn't get it, left one to right middle, and Trump has done the rest. Looking now to add to his century tally. Currently standing for his career at 1,010, for the season at 30.
79. $85. 86.
It's been a well-controlled break, and I shouldn't sound surprised, but I was saying earlier that not all of the times that Judd makes big breaks, century breaks, you know, he's got the cue ball under very tight control, but this has been one of those occasions when it has been well-controlled. Not that many awkward shots over it, in the course of what he's making.
Well, what a way to go to the interval with a century. He's fourth of the week. And he is in control at the halfway stage of this quarter-final. Not only that, he's really upped his game in this frame.
101.
This is a shot he's made his own. I don't think I ever saw it played before. Judd played it all round the angles.
108.
If he gets it right, I suppose the cue ball just runs about a few inches further across, but the line was terrific.
110.
Been a pretty effortless break, this one.
113.
It's not over yet, this match, but the sort of trend was set a little bit in frame one, where Murphy did not win it, despite that break of 62, so it didn't set him off on a good footing. In the meantime, Judd's having his own fun now, isn't he? Knocking everything in.
Yeah, the cue ball is getting a bit of a hammering. Crowd are loving it.
128.
Wonderful stuff. The black for a total clearance of 135. So Judd Trump stole the opener, and he goes to the interval with a century. Shaun Murphy with a lot to think about. It's Trump on top at the halfway stage, leading 3-1.
Heathcote and Slessor back to the commentary team for table one.
Well, it's never over till it's over, but clearly you'd rather be Judd Trump right now.
45.
3-1, and of course made that 1-2-8 in frame 4. Shaun Murphy has at times looked a little rattled, but he's had the interval to clear his head, get back out there and try and get stuck into the second half of the match. Yeah, the overall pot success, I mean, he's not missed much, has he? But he has left just a couple of chances, and that's all Trump's needed to win the frames he's won. Well, that's really opened everything up.
Looks a pretty good shot, doesn't it? Whether he can get through to that red is the big key. I mean, maybe if he can, then it's not so great. But as you say, he's completely opened it all up. Well, yeah, you get a better view from behind. That is a very close one. He might be able to get to the potting angle there, but it is touch and go, I must say. Whether Murphy has decided that he is going to open the game up more, but against Judd Trump, I'm not sure even that would work. Whichever style of snooker you play, attacking or defensive, really, I think they both come alike to him. You just got to play at your best. He thinks he can just sneak through. Played it with a trace of side, in fairness. A bit of right-hand side on that is a really good shot, because I'm not certain he felt he could get there without putting a bit of spin on the ball. Just see the way he arced it slightly around the red. Reds to the right middle, both of which require slightly awkward cueing.
Well, it's almost like we haven't had the interval, isn't it? This is what sort of position he was in that fourth frame, which he won with a century. Murphy's just got to hope something goes wrong here for Judd Trump, otherwise he's going to be in even deeper trouble.
Forcing. Twenty.
Well, it would be very optimistic to think that he's not going to go on and make quite a few here if you're his opponent. It looks like he could possibly win another frame in one visit. He's not done it yet, of course, and the blacks
27.
hasn't been knocked in. It's still red sort of in the way of it. It goes, but it isn't a clear sort of shot at
28.
the black until the red above it's gone. In the meantime, he's still potting reds and lower value colours.
33.
Maybe he could just move the red away from it this time. That's a really clever shot because he actually pushed the red away and into the other two that were safe, so that's even better. It's a much better shot than it first appeared. It's opened up the whole frame.
42.
Well, Shaun Murphy opened the reds, desperately needed a good cue ball, and it was very tight, wasn't it, as to whether Trump could get through to the red. But here we are, with a great chance for 4-1. Yeah, this was it.
Definitely a little trace of side on there to make it possible.
48. $49.
This is really good stuff. I mean, as I said earlier, you know, the breaks aren't always with immaculate cue ball control, but the last couple have been. Most of the time, you know, there's a number of shots which are events for Judd. Tough shots. I think he looks confident. All week he's played well, which is not always the case. A lot of the times he survives the first few rounds and just gets better.
They've just gone to the interval on table 2. Elliot Slessor's 3-1 up on Louis Heathcote. But this frame's only been going 6.5 minutes. And Judd Trump is just a couple of balls away from putting himself 4-1 in front.
60.
Remember, only 3 people have ever beaten him in Belfast. Stuart Carrington, Mark Allen and Aaron Hill. That's the very short list. It's going to take something special now for Shaun Murphy to join it. Could well be back-to-back centuries here.
69. $75. 76.
Been a bit of movement in the background on the other table, just between frames, and a couple of people going to the bar. He hasn't noticed any of it. All he's looking at is the 12x6 as these balls go in the pockets.
82. $83. $89. $90.
I'm sure he's pleased with the way he's playing. Goodness, he really must be, because he's played ever so well tonight. Absolute burst of break building. Didn't really have an angle there, but he whipped the cue ball through.
97.
It was all a bit of a blur, wasn't it? That's good as well, because they're not simple on this table. The pockets are not easy.
So this for back-to-back centuries. One before the interval and one immediately after the interval. Just needed one chance.
It's quite a good shot, actually, you know, on that black. I mean, you saw the cue ball just bouncing a dead straight line up and down, and back down through the brown and yellow perfectly. He's given us the full repertoire now. Look at this for a shot. And this performance is getting better and better by the shot.
Yeah, even Shaun, I mean, he's, he's having to watch it. He appreciates the quality, for sure. How could you not?
114.
Well, he's not clapping this time yet, is he? But he was told off for doing that last time. Well, the crowd are getting behind him. It's been a breathtaking break. A complete contrast, really, all the way through it. It was superb cue ball. Now it's the cue ball's going everywhere.
125.
What's it going to be on this black?
It might be a standing ovation, I think, if it goes in somewhere. It's been so good, Dave.
Well, he is kind of on it. It's on its way. It's on its way. Oh, doesn't drop, but a 1-2-5. Stylish. Shaun Murphy saying, why didn't you pot the black? Unfortunately for him, he potted everything else. And that's why he's leading 4-1. Otherwise, it will be Judd Trump's night. He leads 4-1.
Well, he's actually missed a ball. I'm not saying it was easy, because clearly at that range it wasn't. But I still half thought he'd get it. The form he's in tonight, he's been pretty special, isn't he? Let's be honest. I think Shaun Murphy's played well. You know, he hasn't made many mistakes. He just, whatever he has done wrong, he's been severely punished. Even that last frame where he tried to open the balls up, it looked to be a good safety shot. He just left a red that was maybe potable, and that was his last shot. It can be a tough school sometimes. And also, Trump's safety is immaculate. I've noticed it. A lot of shots have been played from where Shaun is standing right now. So that's another error, I'm afraid. This is so similar on the other side of the table to the last frame. Shrug of the shoulders. Absolutely perfectly on the blue, would you believe? You wouldn't be certain that this is not it. And it's only after one ball. He's completely focused tonight. And the mid-session didn't do anything to stop him.
Sam.
Well, again, Murphy has tried to get the balls open, but if you leave one on, the mood trumps in, he's going to knock them in. So now it's down to him to try and get it one. Put himself into what would be a 65th ranking event semi-final. This is his 98th quarter-final.
False. Judd's on 14.
Well, he overhit that one all right. And a trudge to the table from Shaun. I tell you what, it's a good job it didn't go in. He would have been absolutely buried on a colour. Not sure what Judd would have done had he potted the red where the cue balls ended up. What does Murphy do? There is maybe a very thin, very awkward red, but it was one of the very few reckless shots that Trump has played. He probably deserved to be punished more than where the balls have finished. 31.5 minutes without potting a ball and counting.
Foul, I'm gonna miss. Shaun Murphy 4, yeah? Sure. Yeah, Shaun.
Problem solved at the second attempt. Well, it seems to me that Murphy, with all the problems right now, you can never say he's out of the match. He's good enough to win frames in one visit. But I don't think he can afford to make any mistakes, put it that way.
No, I mean, it could already, of course, have been over here. But the danger is still lurking. They're just getting underway again next door. 3-1 to Slessor, of course, over Heathcote there. And whoever wins that will play the winner of this match tomorrow night.
He was lucky there, clearly. It was a nice pot, but he had no idea the black was going to end up over the green pocket. And he pushed it onto the side cushion, and then really there was nothing except for quite a difficult pink. He might still play the pink, in fact, if he can cue it. But the problem with the black is you play it with topspin and the cue doesn't really leave the bulk area because it goes the other way and the spin sort of traps it down that end. That's why he played it with a lot of stung. Now, is that red in the middle of the bunch available? I don't think he knew about it. There's a plant potentially as well. I think the plant is a natural. If he pots it, he'll be able to get onto the black into the same pocket. No, played on the pink. Either way, I feel that the end might be quite close.
$50. 60. $21.
Certainly his potting from distance has made a difference tonight, hasn't it? 7 out of 8, so 88% long pot success. Some of them have been absolute pearlers as well. It's been getting him in.
22.
Overall pot success for Trump, 95%. Very, very good.
$27. 28.
Well, Shaun Murphy hasn't potted a ball the last 3 frames, and time's running out if he's going to pot another one now in this match.
35.
Yeah, I mean, there was that mistake that Trump made where the cube will end up right in the middle of the reds, which was the one moment where he got lucky, and
36.
if ever Murphy was going to get back, maybe that was the chance he had to take, but it wasn't there after an error. Murphy seemed to be very frustrated during or certainly towards the end of the 3rd frame. He accepted that he lost the 1st frame with, 62 break, but he got in frame 3, and when he ended up losing it, you could see the frustration on his face, which didn't get any easier when there was back-to-back hundreds in the next 2.
42.
Anyway, he's still not there yet. 75 still on, should he miss. And this is not easier, queuing over the top of that red, the thin black. Really, that surprised he missed it. It was not a nice shot, but he's blocked the pocket. May have been on his mind to do, but Murphy still, I don't think, has got anything to go at here.
Well, 90 minutes playing time, not over yet. But Shaun Murphy having nothing really to go at. But if he were to get in, this would be a great chance with where the balls are. He's brought the safe red into play there.
Well, in the end, he's played a good line, but unfortunately not hard enough. I mean, that was close to being a very good safety shot. Perfect line. But another red of this kind. We've seen 3, I think, now left like this. Almost the identical shot. And he's not missing anything at long range. He looks very sharp tonight.
Well, he's finished kind of nowhere there. Just needing 1 red.
8.
Look for all the world to be over.
Yeah, I mean, he probably can pop that right-hand red of the 2 just next to the black, cut it into the right corner. Definitely gettable, but then the cue ball might hit the red and the black below it. He doesn't have a lot of control over the shot. I mean, he could play safe. He doesn't really want to have to wait another visit, but he might have to. He's very much in control of the match. It's just taking a little bit longer to get over the line than anyone thought, including him, I would say, in this frame. But still, Murphy with nothing to go at. See the other match there as well, which is Slessor 3, Heathcote 1. A lot of snooker to be played in that match still, potentially. Well, Murphy's pounding away at these safety shots, and that's a good one. That keeps him in there slightly with just a hope of something. I mean, if he got a chance from here, he could clear up.
Yeah, we saw in frame 1, Trump did exactly that against him, albeit later in the frame. He did it a couple of times last night to Barry Hawkins. But the winning ball has gone in.
I think he played that, you know, with a view to getting the cue ball safe. He looked across at the pocket line from on that left side. And it was a brilliant shot, and it was a shot to nothing, and an unusual one. And he's still not happy with his position, but ultimately it's snooker's required. I think he played this.
5.
I really do. He certainly didn't put his hand up to apologise for anything.
I'd like another one in, wouldn't it? It's 2 snookers needed as it stands. So this feels now like it really is the winning ball if he pots it, if he goes for it, that is. Wriggles in, and surely Judd Trump is now through. And he's played magnificently this evening. His focus has been exemplary. His long game has been terrific. He scored. He had the back-to-back centuries. Good safety as well. Another all-round really good performance.
Yeah, well, I think he's played ever so well myself, same as you. And it's very hard to completely shut out someone as good as Murphy for as long as he has. He's not really played a part. And you have to go right back to frame 3. When he last did, he got in. There's been a few penalty points in his favour, but he's not potted the ball for what must seem like an eternity.
20.
45 minutes of playing time, and that is a long time to watch Judd Trump pot everything.
20.
It's what he's had to do. But one thing you can say is that Judd Trump, we know that he's a bit of a winning machine, but I reckon he's played as well this week in getting to the weekend stage. I've seen him for a long while.
Well, it's now 6 wins in a row against Shaun Murphy.
26.
17-9 on the head-to-head. It's hard to beat Trump anywhere at the minute, but here in Belfast at the Waterfront Hall, he really is the man, and there's only going to be 2 more opportunities, either Elliot Slessor or Louis Heathcote, to play Karen Wilson or Pang Chung-Zhu in the final. This will be a good one, says Shaun. Well, I wouldn't put it past him. Judd Trump continues his quest for a 5th Northern Ireland Open title. Shaun Murphy, warm words in defeat. Very well played. It certainly was. The back-to-back centuries were the highlights, but in every department he was very strong. He's beaten Shaun Murphy 5-1.